I wanted to address the case of Lucy Connolly, the British mother who is in prison for a single tweet. As many of you know, Lucy has just been to the courts to appeal against her sentence, 31 months, for a single tweet. And I believe as of today, she's done 284 days in prison for a single tweet that was deleted.
Earlier this week, Lucy Connolly, a British mother, stood before the Court of Appeal. She's currently serving 31 months in prison. The reason? A single tweet. That's right, one tweet. It was posted, then deleted. It's gone. And yet Lucy has been locked up for 284 days.
Extraordinary breaking news, which you just heard there from San Francis. Lucy Connolly, she's the wife of a Conservative councillor. Her appeal against the 31-month sentence for putting out an intemperate tweet in the aftermath of the Southport murders has been dismissed. So she will remain in prison. She's not particularly... She's
Let's just have a minute to think about this country, right? This is a mother who has now got 284 days to remain away from her child and her husband, and who knows, her parents, maybe, her extended family, because she wrote one angry post on social media.
At first, the story didn't get much attention. Most people didn't even know her name. But now it's starting to spread, and the facts are simple. Lucy posted something online. Someone didn't like it. The tweet was deleted. But the police still showed up at her door. She was arrested, taken to court, and sentenced to over 2 years in prison. She appealed the sentence. But when she got to court, she wasn't released. The judge said he needed more time to think. So back to prison she went.
She said this was in the wake of the stabbings in Southport. Her post read on X, Twitter, "Mass deportation now. Set fire to all the bleep hotels full of bleeps for all I care. If that makes me racist, so be it." It was up for about 3.5 hours. It was viewed 300,000 times. She thought that was probably a mistake, wasn't it? I let my anger get in the way.
Yeah.
She deleted it.
Now, this case isn't just about whether a tweet was offensive. This is about whether regular people in Britain can speak freely without ending up behind bars. And for a lot of people, it's clear that freedom is gone.
Who has now got 284 days to remain away from her child and her husband, and who knows, her parents, maybe, her extended family, because she wrote one angry post on social media. And she also says that this is because she herself was suffering from bereavement. Tell you what she said. This was in the wake of the stabbings in Southport. Her post read on X, Twitter, "Mass deportation now. Set fire to all the bleep hotels full of bleeps for all I care."
Katie Hopkins has been following this case closely, and she's not interested in what the tweet said. She makes that clear from the start. I don't care what your opinion was about the tweet. I don't care for the people who say it's a terrible tweet, but I have no time for that. It was a tweet on Twitter, which is a loud mess at the best of times, and she deleted it. To Katie, there is no excuse. There is no reason for Lucy to be in prison. None. What happened after the hearing made it worse. Lucy wasn't set free. The judge needed time to think. Katie sees this as proof that this case is not about facts or justice. It's about what looks best for the people in charge.
Lord Justice Holroyd, whatever he's called, the justice that decided Lucy wouldn't be released, released Lord Nazir Ahmed 3 years early. Lord Ahmed, a Lord Ahmed, raped a 9-year-old. But this same Lord Justice released him 3 years early. Or, for example, the government are about to early release 15,000 prisoners. They're releasing actual criminals from prison early to clear space in prison.
People still try to defend the system. They say maybe the judge is being careful. Maybe it's just a procedure, but Katie doesn't buy it. She brings up another case involving the same judge. A man with a long and serious criminal past was released early. But Lucy, a mother, is still sitting in a cell for a tweet. Meanwhile, the government is preparing to let 15,000 prisoners out early. actual criminals, dangerous people. Why? Because they need space, but not for Lucy. She stays locked up.
Because you get to a place where you realise the law is not the law. The Lord Justice didn't get to be Lord Justice just by dispensing something according to some ancient book that he dusts off and decides what his opinion about the law is on that day. It's a tool of the powerful to control the ordinary. And I learnt this lesson a long time back. In fact, case law that's being used in this case was created, fabricated just for me in order to take my home, all of my savings and force me to near bankruptcy. That says damage is done at the time of publication, and if you perceive you are harmed by a tweet, that's enough. You don't have to prove it. That was made up especially for me and is being used now.
This, Katie says, proves one thing. This is not about justice. This is about control. And the law? It's not really the law anymore. It's a tool used by those in power to keep regular people quiet. She knows this from experience. Katie explains how, years ago, the system made up a new rule just to come after her. A legal decision was created just for her case, one that allowed them to take her house, her savings, and everything she had. Katie puts it this way: the day you find out the law is not the law is not actually a great day, because you realize there's no justice. Not in a poetic way, literally, there is no such thing as justice that will be served through the courts. And Lucy's not alone. Her story is part of something wider. Over the past few years, cases like this have slowly started to appear. People questioned, fined, or charged for things they've said online. Sometimes it's activists, sometimes it's comedians, sometimes it's just regular people. Some have been arrested over memes. Others were investigated for replying to a post in the wrong tone. These aren't fringe cases anymore. They're starting to look like a pattern. In Katie's eyes, Lucy is not a prisoner. She's a hostage of the British government. She's being used as an example, a warning to everyone else.
It certainly isn't about a tweet. It's a message to the British people. You stay in your place, you keep your heads down, you stay compliant, you don't ask questions, you go to work, you pay your taxes, you pay your bills that rise every day, you pay for this, you pay for that. You don't have democracy, but you keep your head down, you nod along, and you keep quiet. Otherwise, we will do this to you.
And it gets worse. When Lucy cried in court, not for herself, but because her daughter might not survive, they still sent her back to prison. No compassion, no second thought. The court could have granted temporary release, even house arrest, anything. But instead, it was back to the cell, back to waiting, back to silence. This, Katie says, is the message the government is sending to all of us. Keep your head down, go to work, pay your taxes, watch your bills go up, stay quiet. Don't ask questions. Don't challenge anything. And if you do, we'll make an example out of you, just like we did with Lucy. Katie notices something else too, something more chilling. The government is building new prison spaces. They're releasing prisoners early. They're clearing out room. Why? Because they know what's coming. They know people are frustrated. They know trust is eroding. People are questioning more, listening less. And the response is not dialogue. It's not reform. It's more enforcement, more surveillance, more control. Katie's seen it all before. She's lived through it. She's lost everything already. She's been targeted, pressured, threatened. But at this point, there's nothing left to take from her. And because of that, she says she can't be scared anymore. For some of us, she says, there is nothing more anyone can take. And that's why she speaks out. Even now, while she's under pressure from powerful groups she can't name yet, she still speaks. Because some things are more important than safety, truth, freedom, honesty. She stands for Lucy. She stands for the truth. She stands for every single person who is too scared to speak, who is watching this all unfold and wondering if they're next. And there are many. People who work regular jobs, people with families, people who once trusted the system, but now they aren't so sure. They're watching Lucy's story, wondering what the limits are. wondering what they're allowed to say, wondering how we got here. Katie puts it in plain words. Lucy Connolly isn't a criminal. She's a hostage. That's how we must talk about her. It's not just a legal strategy, it's about language. How we talk about Lucy matters. If we let them define her as a criminal, it's easier for the rest of us to look away. But if we call it what it is, a mother in prison over a deleted tweet, then maybe more people will start to ask questions. And that's the beginning of change.
And whilst personally, at this moment, I am currently under threat from a number of different powerful organisations that I can't specifically talk about, what I can say is, for some of us, there is nothing more you can take. And ultimately, what matters more to us is to keep being true, standing in truth, being free enough to be able to stand up for what we know is right, because there's nothing anyone can take from me, for example, despite the threats currently now on me. And so what? So this isn't at all, I'm not at all concerned for myself. I'm trying to give reassurance that for some of us, there's nothing more anyone can take. So it doesn't matter that there is a hostage, because that doesn't scare us. It doesn't matter that prison spaces are being cleared specifically, because that doesn't scare someone like me either. So have faith that this fight goes on. Please know that Lucy Connolly isn't a prisoner. She's a hostage. And please know, ultimately, that good wins in the end.
To Lucy's family, Katie says, "Please know you're not alone. We are many, and we are stronger together." This story has raised important questions about free expression, about fairness, about how far a government should go in policing online speech. And it's not about defending offensive content. It's about defending proportion, about consequences matching the act. Most people agree. We should be able to disagree without fear. We should be able to debate ideas without worrying about who might knock on our door the next morning. And yet, here we are. So maybe that's the real question. Where do we draw the line? What kind of society do we want to live in? One where people are afraid to speak? Or one where differences can be voiced and dealt with without turning to handcuffs and prison vans? Everyone will have their own answer. But Lucy's case reminds us all to think carefully about it.
Please know that you're not alone. Please know that we are many, many, many more than you could possibly know. And please know that we are stronger together.
And now we'd like to hear from you. What do you think about Lucy's situation? Do you believe the sentence was fair? Should we be concerned about what this means for online speech? Or do you think the system is working as it should? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Like and subscribe to this channel if you would like to hear more news regarding these topics.